Hello guys and welcome. In today's video we're going to be speaking about a couple of pieces of news that you should really be paying attention to, and if you haven't already, subscribe, drop a comment, help us support the channel by clicking the bell and following us for more news in crypto. So a balancer announced that $27 million could actually be risked or in risk because of a vulnerability in some DeFi pools. So BAL disclosed a vulnerability affecting several of some pools in a statement on the 22nd of August, but in that post, he said that over 80% of the issue had actually been mitigated. But the project acknowledged that some of those funds, about 4% of its total value, are still at risk, right? So Balancer currently has a TVL of around $691 million, and that's around $27 million in total that's at risk. So responding to the issue, the sub-DAO enabled proportional exit from affected pools and actually put a stop on certain pools. So they urge their users to migrate funds to some safe pools or actually withdraw them if they had this, and urge some liquidity providers to exit at-risk pools. Now they said that they've seen some significant withdrawals following this announcement. Around $149 million have been withdrawn from Balancer's TVL within several hours. Though it's unclear whether those funds are actually moved from at-risk pools. That isn't really said. So the project hasn't been published on a full mortem of the vulnerability, and it hasn't exactly revealed the source from which the pool or from which the report was first originated from. But Balancer actually has been hacked and has actually put in risk some other incidents as well. So one attacker stole over 500 grand by targeting Balancer back in 2021. And Balancer pool was also affected by a bigger attack from Euler Finance back in March of this year. And at this time, Balancer actually paused the effective assets and pools. Around 11 million, almost $12 million of funds were affected due to this situation. And also, we have news coming out from the Department of Justice. So they're taking action against Binance, and it gets more likely than this. So they're warning the ex-SEC official is warning that it's probably going to happen. His name is John Reed Stark, and he's been pretty vocal about the speculation at the Department of Justice action against Binance. And it is pretty imminent, and they've already filed the underseal. Now, Stark has taken to X, or formerly Twitter, again offering another new reason to actually confirm his claim. So his reason was on the Wall Street Journal report, actually kind of showing on the exchange's connections and the sanctioned banks and its involvement in large-scale rubble to crypto trades. He mentioned that the Wall Street Journal reports that via layers of intermediaries, Binance's clients can actually turn funds at sanctioned banks into balances at Binance. And this is what it means to run an international money laundering service. In his opinion, yes. So he claims that Russians can exchange rubles for digital currencies, particularly stable coins that are pegged to the dollar, and can be swapped for fiat currencies at brokerages abroad or actually transferred to some other wallets as a form of payment. So according to the Department of Justice, is actually investigating whether Binance may violate U.S. sanctions against Russia. But the bigger idea, the broader crypto and legal communities watchful eye have been tracking emerging allegations against them, against CZ, and a comprehensive 136-page SEC complaint has suggested a massive market manipulation scheme at Binance. So it's saying that CZ and Binance actually controlled entities that may have commingled billions in customer funds and actually exposing some investor assets to undue risk. But is he really too big to jail? So even though he said that it's not really what he said, it really hasn't came to be just yet. But a report from Semaphore has actually made people more concerned. They're suggesting that the Department of Justice is weighing potential fraud charges against Binance and balancing the legal actions repercussions on the broader crypto ecosystem. All right, so many fears are coming from the bank run, of course, what happened with the FTX platform as well. And in other news, Solana had death cross and again. So what does that say? What kind of future does SOL hold, right? So they're saying that one of the deals with this death cross is coming in as the pattern is emerging when a short-term moving average crosses below a long-term moving average and showing a potential bearish turn into the asset's price. Of course, we've kind of already seen this kind of happening, right? So the recent price analysis, and you can check out this right here on the page. The death cross was in 2022, the last one, and the aftermath was a huge downtrend, and another death cross could be actually happening now. And so some investors and traders are actually pretty worried about this for Solana. But the analysis, Chris Burnix, actually expressed his views on Solana's in 2023. He was pretty optimistic, said that he did not believe Solana would reach a new low this year, especially because the lows it experienced in 2022 may not go further. But the emergence of another death cross, his prediction is actually being checked on that. Now, the TVL in Solana is around $243.85 million. And because of this amount, then the death cross could actually impact investor sentiment and, well, TVL. So if the past and the death cross all kind of come together and it leads to a decrease in the TVL, as investors might seek to move their funds to a different asset, so another shift in whales, right? And so even Shibarium failed some expectations as well because it took the market really by the head back in 2021, but it's actually facing a pretty big test of investment sentiment as well. But that is all playing a big psychological strength of SHIB investors because the investment sentiment can actually drive the price movements as much, and if not more than the fundamental factors as well. So there's some big disappointment coming from the Shibarium's launch. It could lead to weakening investor confidence. So all of this is even playing in with Solana as well, especially with the death cross. So everyone's kind of getting ready to shift and move everything on out. All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. Like the video, drop a comment, and click the bell icon, and I will catch you in our next video.